Hi everyone. Thank you guys so much for coming today. And then it is our honor to having Lauri to come in to be our podcast guest today. And so now we will let her to starting with a small presentation to tell who she is and then what she does, and then so we can understand a little bit more. Let's give it a big applause. Yes.
All right. So, what is naturopathy? Naturopathy is a holistic approach to wellness versus modern medicine that everyone knows. So, the foundations of health that we base our practice off of are going to be up here: the hydration, making sure you're drinking your half your body weight in water every day, and not just like distilled water or reverse osmosis water. You definitely want to make sure you have a clean source of water, but that you also have either trace minerals or electrolytes added. Like Celtic sea salt is great. I'm trying to think. Himalayan salt is nice, but something that's going to draw the hydration into the bloodstream instead of just water. We don't want to overwork the kidneys. We actually want to draw it in and utilize it. Also, a whole food diet, so diverse diet. Some of us kind of get stuck where we want to eat the same foods every day instead of diversifying. When you prepare your meal, you want to picture your plate as basically like a circle, like a pie. You want half the plate to be vegetables and not just, oh, I like potatoes or corn. Not just the starchy vegetables, but green leafy vegetables, having possibly like a sweet potato, just diversifying the fruits and veggies that you add to your plate every day. Ideally, you would not eat the same vegetation every day for a month. You would switch it out each meal, but in the way that our lives are, that's kind of impossible. But so, really trying to diversify where you can. So, half of your plate being 2 servings of vegetables, a quarter of it being a good, clean protein, and then a quarter of it being like your carbs, like whole grains. You could have like your potato if you wanted it, but that would be your little corner of carbs. And that's the best way to get uh, good nutrients into your diet. Sunlight is also extremely important. I like to tell people in the morning, go outside, go for a walk. 20 minutes of sunlight gets you a good source of vitamin D, plus the fresh air, which is also on here, in through your lungs, getting exercise and a walk. It also aids in digestion. So exercise is right after sunlight. It could be your walk, but some people like to say, well, I have a labor job, so I don't need to exercise. Your body is used to that labor every single day. So it does not view it as exercise because you're using the same muscle groups. So you need to do something outside of that. So if you're into a job where you are constantly lifting or bending over, you might choose to do a little bit of cardio or even an exercise like yoga or stretching, just ways that you're working different muscle groups versus just your everyday tasks. Healthy sleep, I'd say that's probably one of the main things that people have trouble with. They don't get a good sleep routine. And if they do during the week, then on the weekends, they are like, well, I can stay up late, sleep in. You should only change up your sleep schedule by about an hour, either an hour staying up later or an hour sleeping in later. But sleeping all day on the weekends isn't healthy. You should try as an adult. We want to get between 8 to 10 hours of sleep, which is not what most people think. They think it's between like 6 and 8. But ideally, you want to be asleep before 10 p.m. At 11, if you're still up, and I think everybody has kind of been through this before, you get a second wind. You're like, oh, I can finish this project. I all of a sudden have all this clarity and energy. You do, but that wasn't meant for you to stay up. It was meant for your organs so that they can cleanse from that day's toxic load. Um, then next on here, we have balanced emotions. So emotions play a big role in our health and wellness. If we are stressed out, we can weaken our immune system. We can throw off our sleep. We can throw off our digestion. So having a healthy way, whether it's journaling, going to a counselor, working with small group, a way that you can vent and get out those emotions in a positive way to help release is extremely important with health and wellness. Spirituality, however you believe, being able to have that grounding space is very important. And then body and energy work. So going to get massages regularly, um, that is extremely beneficial because if we aren't active, or even if we are, our lymph can still get stagnant. And so, having somebody working through the fascia, moving the blood, helping support lymph movement, it's also really important for health and wellness. So, these are the main things when somebody comes to me as a naturopath, rather than working on, hey, I have digestive issues, we're not really going to get very far if we don't put these foundations into place. Your body needs all of these to be able to heal and get better. So, right here, this is a great quote from Hippocrates. It says, nature itself is the best physician, offering remedies that nurture the body and calm the soul. All right. And as you can see, I have water, sunlight, some veggies, exercise, and journaling listed here, just as some examples of how you can get those foundations in place. All right. So, naturopathic practitioners, we can go by traditional naturopath, which is how I choose to. You might see some people that go by naturopathic doctor. In that reference, unless they've been to medical school, it is still a doctor, but it is a teacher, as in, like, you go to college, you have your professors who have their doctorate. They have their degree and they are a doctorate. Doctor, as in a naturopath, is a teacher, so that can be a little confusing because people will want things that a physician can offer. And we respect that realm, and that's just not our place. Our place is supporting the body, supporting wellness, and just kind of making it to where hopefully you don't have to go get the intervention because you have good foundations in place. So we work with our clients on working towards a goal of reaching vitality, like optimal health and wellness. um, so one thing I really love about naturopathy is there's not really protocols in place that are, you have digestive issues or sleep issues or hormone issues. Here, take these supplements, do these things, and you're well, because we're all unique. And so we're not a one size fit all. We each have different issues that we might be experiencing. So, a naturopath, instead of creating protocols that, hey, this is what you do for this, we actually meet you where you're at, work with you one on one, because where you might be having some issues, other people might not. The whole goal is to get to the root cause of what is causing the symptoms instead of putting band aids on. So we don't necessarily, will ever have a one size fit all approach. Um, so our first rule is first do no harm. So as a naturopath, we don't prescribe, we don't diagnose, we don't do any inoculation, so no shots, anything that would cause harm to the body. We do everything natural, and including herbs, but we are very careful with those as well. We believe that your body can heal itself if given the right elements. So the slide before where I was going through all the foundations, if those are being met, then your body can heal itself. We work to find the root cause. So instead of putting band aids on, here you can take, say, for instance, ginger to help with indigestion. Well, what is causing the indigestion? I would never just say, here, take this if somebody came in. This is really popular, it's very helpful. That might be true, but why are you having indigestion? I want to know what's going on with digestion. Where's your pH? Are you more acidic? Are you more alkaline? And how can we balance that and get you to a healthy place? We also believe that prevention is more than finding a cure. So we are going to definitely teach people healthy foundations so that they don't get sick. Not when they're sick, this is what you do. We'd rather you not get sick. And so we want to teach you these things that are important, like drinking half your body weight in fluid ounces of water and a good source of it. If you, at the end of the day, you're like, oh, I haven't drank enough water today, you definitely wouldn't go get a huge 20-ounce thing of water and guzzle it. And some people do. Your body needs about 4 ounces an hour just to do its normal bodily functions. If you're exercising, of course, you're working up a sweat, you need a little bit more. But giving your body more than that at one time is taxing the kidneys. It's giving your body more work, and we're now causing stress instead of hydrating. So, we want to help you learn how to take care of your body so that you don't get sick and so that you can share that with your family. It can be a legacy that you pass on wellness. The body is doing the healing. We're just there to facilitate. So, while good reviews are excellent, you did all the work. We just taught you what was needed and helped you to learn and listen to your body. But you do the healing. It's your body. It is not us. We're just there to facilitate. And the last is that toxins and toxic environments should be avoided. So people don't really like to hear this one because it's a lot of processed foods, air fresheners, makeup, fingernail polish, different things that we have come accustomed to every day, but could be causing toxic reactions in our body. So these are things that we want to teach and educate on so that when you know better, you can do better. Okay, so this is just kind of, I'm not going to read this whole thing, but the standards of naturopathy. Um, This right here is at the Golden Jubilee meeting of 1947. They drew up a standard of practice for naturopathy. It's pretty much everything I've just said in a nutshell. Um, but I'd say the most important is right here where it says naturopathy does not make use of synthetic or inorganic vitamins, minerals, or drugs. No, obviously not narcotics, but no surgery, no serums, no vaccines, no antitoxins, toxoid injections, or inoculations. We really want to teach people that we're going to do things as natural as possible and that doesn't have to be overwhelming. I'm not ever going to tell somebody go throw away all your food, throw away all your cleaning supplies, change your whole house, because that's really overwhelming. So one step at a time helps you to feel empowered and to add more to that. All right. So naturopathy and allopathic medicine. So traditional naturopaths, we understand that there is a time and a place where you will need medical intervention. Again, like I said, we respect that. We don't want to step in their place, step on their toes. All of our physicians have gone to school, they have studied their physiology, their anatomy, they know how our body works. So they are there to save our lives, keep us healthy, but we are there to, I guess, teach you how to take care of your body so that they are there for life saving and for issues where these naturopathy could not help at that point. We don't ever want somebody with like high blood sugar or high blood pressure to try to do everything natural at the beginning, because those are issues that could be life threatening if they're not managed. So we want to support their efforts and do things as natural as we can and hopefully change some lifestyles so that your body can heal itself. Um, we educate our clients to make optimal life choices and to kind of correct the imbalances that are going on. Not all people that come to see me are ready to make changes. So some people are like, I need help with all of these things. And my doctor, I've been to several doctors, it's not helping. But they don't want to change. They don't want to give up inflammatory foods. They don't want to go to bed early. They don't want to do the things that are a little bit uncomfortable because it's not the norm. So they're not ready for change yet. Then they will inevitably end up back seeking medical intervention. But naturopathy is more for the people who are ready and willing to do the work, make the lifestyle changes, so that this is the new norm. It's not a diet. This is our lifestyle. This is how we're going to live now. And most people, once they reach that area, they feel so good. The inflammation is gone. The bloating is gone. It could be the rash is gone, that now they feel better and they associate what isn't healthy with discomfort. So they're more protective of protecting what they have established. Naturopathy isn't medicine with herbs. Sometimes people will come in and be like, I don't want to take any medicine, no prescriptions. I just need an herb or a supplement for my blood sugar, for um, my sleep. I can't sleep. I want to take something for my cardiovascular support, and I want to lose weight. And they have a whole list, and they're really just trading one set of pills for another set of pills. What we're working with is teaching them lifestyle changes. So while we might, for instance, I've put on here like hypothyroidism, instead of taking a synthetic or natural support, um, which we're never going to tell them to stop if they're already taking something. But if they've been diagnosed, we want to support them to heal their body. So, nourishing the thyroid along with their medical monitoring. So, if their body starts secreting the correct hormones and it has now filled in that gap, we need their doctor to be monitoring levels so that they can taper down their protocol there. But we are helping to resolve the issue instead of masking it by basically telling the thyroid, you don't have to work anymore. We're going to do this for you. So, not all cases result in total healing, but being able to work towards nourishing that will be helpful. So, some of the services that we have available at Be Hippie Holistic and Botanical are wellness consultations where you work one on one with me. We're pretty in depth. I do urinalysis, I do a pH assessment, I will do iridology, which is studying the iris. I also do facial analysis. I check the tongue, the fingernails. I will also just work with you, talk with you, get a feel with what areas you think you need support with. And then I also listen for emotional things that are going on so that I can help you to practice that as well, practice healthy emotions and getting support there. We do ionic cleanse detox foot baths that uses ionization to help support the detox pathways so that it kind of takes the stress off of your body's nightly detox. So most people say they get the best night's sleep after having one. Um, I do offer Shape Reclaimed. It is a gentle detox. It's a 6-week program of an anti inflammatory diet along with some homeopathy. I offer comprehensive iridology assessments. This tells the potential of what issues could arise. It doesn't mean they will arise, but it's showing you what potential is there. And it also helps understand um, from a personality aspect why you are the way you are. So, for instance, my iris, even though it's really dark, I have little rings. It kind of looks like if you were to cut a tree in half and you see all the growth rings. My iris type is called anxiety titanic. It sounds pretty negative, but people with this type are the people who have everything going, working two jobs, running a household, taking on projects to volunteer, um, just adding so much to their plate and causing their own stress, but they can do it. So there's some of your most successful people because, yes, they add to their stress, but they can always complete it. They always get it done some way, somehow. So, not necessarily the way to live. And knowing that I'm like that, I try to be more mindful of before I take on a project or a task, knowing that I can do it. How is this going to affect me and my family if I take on one more thing? So, it just helps you to understand why you are the way you are. So I also offer Zytoscans. That's a biofeedback. It is very similar to the technology of a lie detector. So you basically put your hand on a cradle, it scans your meridians, and it lets you know what stressors are going on internally that you might not even be aware of. So, if, for instance, you are suppressing grief, feelings that you just don't feel comfortable even addressing in your subconscious, your body still knows that that's going on. And it could be affecting your sleep, it could be affecting your digestion, your immune support, even your hydration. So, knowing what issues are there and how you can support them, whether it's with lifestyle changes, with therapy, many times massage comes up for grief, and it's just helping release those issues in the body that your body is. Think about it, your body starts tensing up, you get knots. Having somebody to help you work through that, even if it's in silence during a massage, is very beneficial for helping to release some of those emotions. So it's very, very helpful. I don't rely on it solely, but when people are really frustrated with what's going on and they just want to know, that is a good tool to use. We have red light therapy, salt therapy, which is fantastic if you have, well, if you live in Oklahoma and have seasonal allergies, or if you have like eczema, psoriasis, skin afflictions where we're having regular breakouts. Doing low heat with a little bit of with the salt opens up the pores and helps get the salt in there for to facilitate some healing. We do infrared sauna, both low and high heat. We have wellness educational classes monthly. Sometimes they're free, and sometimes if we do a make and take where you're going to go home with handouts and products and recipes to continue making that at home, then we charge a minimal fee for those. And then I always offer complimentary supplement consultations. There's a lot of information out on the internet where they'll say this supplement is great, you should be doing this. And when people have questions, there's no one to answer those. So being able to have a safe place where you can come, answer questions, is this great? Should I be taking this? Then I can help at least answer those questions. Like I said, in naturopathy, it's never a one size fits all. Each person is different, and adding a whole slew of supplements might not be beneficial if your body can't break them down and utilize them well. All right, so I have a few little pictures here of some of our services. This is my consultation room. Uh, Example of how the detox foot bath begins. It's usually clear, it's always clear. But as you can see, there's a little bit of a golden color. That ionization is beginning at the end of the session. That's usually brown. Like sometimes it'll be like an amber color if it's joint issues, but almost every person has liver issues, some liver congestion. The shape protocol. This is what the Zyto looks like. It's just a little cradle that you stick your hand on. And then this is our Halo IR salt and sauna. And this is how to contact us if you are interested in support or services. And thank you.
Yes, 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 yes.